We're live.
Yay.
Woohoo! Thank you. Can you put sweetener in it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Now we just have to wait for people to show up. Woohoo! Yay. Yeah. Well, we've been live for 20 seconds.
Yes. Why aren't they here yet?
I don't know. Where's the dog? Why isn't he here?
He's sleeping.
Let me scooch looking.
Oh, someone says
Get in
hello.
the frame. Hey! Welcome. You're the first person. Woohoo! Why are you so much taller than me?
Because I am on the stool.
Oh, yeah, that is tall. Why are you the taller one sitting on the tall thing? Because
you don't like the stool.
I know. Can't you find something shorter to sit on?
No. Can't you become taller?
I try.
Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
That's why I always used to wear the giant heels, but
Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
No.
How are you guys tonight? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are SoCal, Southern California.
Oh, okay. It took me a second.
You know, my favorite place in the entire U.S. that I've been to so far. So, all right. Yeah. So I hope everyone is having a good, happy Valentine's Day and whatever. I mean, I've never been a big Valentine's Day person myself. I don't know about you, but
Yeah. It's the one day that someone can actually make me feel special.
oh,
Yeah, I know you kind of
sucks to be you then.
Yeah, you failed. Oh.
Yeah. I'm like so bad because I'm just like meh. I hate holidays. I don't do. Except for Halloween. That's the only holiday I like.
So what you're saying is when we have our anniversary, we'll just say it's on Halloween because then.
Well, then I'll remember it.
Exactly.
When is our?
I don't know. I think it's like now or past.
I warned you. This was your job. Like
everything else is my job. What is your job?
I'm in charge. I delegate the.
You delegate and disappear.
I tell you that you have to do. Here is the dog. Finally.
Ever been to British Columbia, Canada? Yes. Beautiful,
he has.
Beautiful and expensive.
I have not been yet. We're gonna make our way out there. There's Wolfgar. Hello. Oh, thank you for the rose. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna try to say your name. Cami? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm stuck at names. I'm like, fuck any name I can't pronounce. But thank you so much. That is so sweet.
And people love your channel.
Yay. Thank you guys. And I see someone likes my necklace. I'm like, had to have a fun one here. Okay. Yes, Wolfgar. It'll be the Wolfgar channel from now on. Everyone will just love you and pay attention to you. Oh. Yes, for everyone who's like, oh, your dog isn't that big. This is like he's sitting on the floor right now. He is literally this big. Oh, okay, cool. BC. Awesome. Yeah, we want to come out that way. We will in the next couple of years where we've got some travel plans as soon as we're allowed to travel again. But I'll be making a proper announcement about that at some point soonish. But yeah, Kayami. There we go. That's how you say thank you. I so suck at names. But I like to get it right because but yeah, we'll hopefully
If you come to BC, you have a place to stay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No, I want to. I've traveled a lot of the east coast of Canada because I have family from Newfoundland and the east coast. So I've had a chance to do that when I was younger. I haven't been out for years. And then you, just through work and whatever, have gone to the west coast, but never to the east coast. Well, you went out what? Halifax?
Halifax, yeah.
Halifax is as far as you've gone. So, yeah. There we go. Oh, look, I got lipstick all over it. I just wanted to share with you guys my lovely Bernie Mitten mug, or at least his take on it. Yeah, Wolfgar could definitely eat most people as a snack. He's he's a beast. Thankfully, he's really friendly, but
he'll just slobber on.
Yeah, he just goobers
And
everywhere.
then, if you walk away, it'll look like you have like a cum stain on your pants.
He slobbers everywhere, and then when it dries, it looks like cum stains. And like, Sage has seriously had to like clean goober off of like the ceiling and the walls and stuff because the dog like shakes his head and it goes flying.
Oh yeah,
he nearly got me earlier today. It like a chunk of it went pew, like and landed right beside my head.
I just cleaned the TV
for like the third day in a row.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, there's all this shit on the TV, and I'm like, okay, Windex down, wipe it, and then a day later, I'm like, didn't I just do this? Like, and then there's a giant like streak over it, So,
yeah. The dog's bed is right in front of the television, so it's perhaps not the best planning on our part, but let's see. 30 minutes away from a park with plants and trees and shrubs from all over North America. Oh, that's cool. Which park is that, if you don't mind me asking? We spend a lot of time like in the summer camping at various parks and stuff. Like right now, just mostly in Ontario. But yeah, we have a lot of fun. And I'll probably do some like camping vlogs and stuff, not for this channel, but like just I've been trying to put together a personal channel for a while, so. Because if you're here for the kink, you don't really care about us going camping and all that. Cute. I have a mug that says, he asked me to get in the kitchen, so I made him a sub. I like that. It's cute. Yeah. My wife and I stepped into the lifestyle about 2 years ago. Absolutely love it. We're currently working on making our extra room a dungeon. I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to have a dungeon in your home. Like, I mean, I always, well, not always, obviously, but I have for many, many years between working as a pro dom and just like, I don't know, I have lots of stuff. So when we got an apartment, we were like, okay, we need an extra room for a dungeon. And here we are. But it's a lot of fun. I want to do actually a video, and I'm sure you guys would appreciate it, about just different ideas for like creating your home dungeon so that you can have some different ideas that are a little less expensive, because sometimes, it can be overwhelming with how expensive everything is. So if you kind of have like the pieces that are really important to you and you spend the money on, then you can have some other pieces that are a little less expensive as well, and kind of combine it to make it work. So yay. Sorry, there's a hail Satan there. Yeah, like my earrings, I thought these were adorable. I had to get them. They weigh a ton though. They're so heavy, but I like them. What if a bedroom is big? Would it also be? Yeah, I mean, like, it's up to you guys wherever you put your dungeon. If you decide to have one, like, we have friends where, obviously the basement is sort of the traditional place for a dungeon. So we have some friends that have turned like a room in their basement into dungeons. Our dungeon, this is actually the second floor. We have like a 2-level apartment. So this is on the second floor of our apartment, which is not the most convenient for me because stairs are challenging, but it's worth it. And it also keeps it a little more private because we can just close the door and call it a linen closet, which is totally my excuse when people that I don't want to share a dungeon with come over. But like your mother, when she goes, I was like, it's a linen closet. I know that's a really strange place for one, but that's all it is. You don't want to see. But yeah. Yeah, but it works wherever you go, or like wherever you have the room is really cool. And I think people need to kind of think outside the box as well. Like one of the dungeons that I ran as like a professional dungeon, we had like huge, beautiful windows. Obviously, we needed privacy, so we had some curtains. But I loved just having all that light in the dungeon because it let me see what I was doing. And I know that like the stereotype is like dark and gloomy and all that, but it totally worked for me. I really enjoyed having a lot of light because, I like to be able to see what I'm doing, and I do a lot of intricate type play. So yes, dungeon is life goals for sure. It's, and it's a matter of like like I said, for me, I mean, I've been working as a professional dom for over a decade, and that means that I get to buy lots of stuff, and I like lots of stuff, and then he likes lots of gear. So between the two of us, we can have a ton of stuff. I mean, there's no way I would have been able to get all of this shit if I wasn't doing that and didn't have that sort of like excuse, like, well, it's for work, you know. But you know, you start anywhere and just collect stuff. And I think too, especially like, I mean, like anything in life, but when it comes to BDSM stuff, if you buy good quality things, they're going to last. You know, like if you buy cheap stuff, it's going to fall apart and you have to rebuy it. But like, you know, it's, I don't know, buy quality, it'll last. Waiting for my twins 16 years to grow up and move out so I can change their room to a dungeon. I love it a lot. Again, you know, like I'm kind of at an age where a lot of my friends, their kids are getting to that point where they are getting the hell out, going to college and leaving. So yeah, there's a lot of former kids' rooms being changed into dungeons and stuff. It's like, no, when you come to visit, you can sleep on the couch, right? So for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just like, yeah, people like the linen closet. Seriously, no one ever wants to look in your linen closet. It's the best excuse there. Yeah. For the record, never actually inject silicone into anyone's balls or body in general, unless you're a doctor. But saline is, I think, what you're looking for there. Also very dangerous. Don't do it unless you're trained. But I always have to clear those things up because I'm like, I see people talk about it, and yeah, you don't want to cause infection, especially there. Which is part of why that's like one of the things I won't teach. I usually never teach how to do saline injections and inflations just because, well, I mean, I could get in trouble for practicing medicine without a license if I teach it and stuff. And that's not fun. So, yeah. Yeah, I think at bondage, if you guys are really into that kind of stuff, it's always nice. We thought about installing a hard point here. And we didn't, partially because when we were talking about it, then I had my accident and that kind of consumed life. But at this point, I think we probably won't put in a hard point at this place because we are hoping to move out in a couple of years. Like, this is an apartment, it's rented. So we're hoping that that is not a permanent thing. But in our new space, we will have, various points throughout. I'm going to kind of disguise those as like where I can hang some plants or a hammock. And then, but we'll also be able to use those as a dungeon thing. Because sometimes, like, I mean, I'm about as out as you can get, right? I'm on the internet talking about BDSM. Everyone knows that this is what I'm into. But sometimes you still want to be able to, like, be subtle about it. So we'll always have good excuses. Although sometimes people are like, that is a very odd place to hang a plant. But okay. Just be like, yeah, it's the only place we had. So. Oh, yeah. My 33-year-old daughter and her hubby already talk about when their kids are grown up and making a dungeon. Yeah, I think that seems to be, I don't have kids myself, right? But a lot of my friends, it's like the kids are great for the first little bit, and then they're like, I can't wait till they grow up and move out. So,
don't have to worry about that.
So, is it normal for a sub to have a beard as a dom first time? Well, he's pretty beardy.
Ow, what the fuck?
Yeah, see, beards are handy. No, I love beards and facial hair. I'm not gonna pull it. Relax.
You already did once.
I know. And you know I will again. It's just when will it happen? But yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't like the ideas that there are certain things that are dom or sub or whatever, right? Like, I constantly use Sage here as, like, my example. He's got a beard. Like, he is a switch, but he's a sub to me, and he's got a beard. He's quite manly. I like them that way. But he's got a hairy chest, he's got big muscles, all of that. So there's nothing wrong with any of that for a sub. You know, you are who you are, and you make it work for you. So, all right, have a good Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. Yes, pick plants. You can always put plants wherever you need to cover anything up. They're perfect for that.
Oh, Peter's here. Hi, Pete.
Hello, Pete. Of course, he runs naked through everything. Pete has a history of this kind of behavior. Yeah, I'm not going to tell any stories, but Pete has a history of this type of behavior. For those of you guys who don't know, Pete is a friend of mine in real life. We've been friends for like ever, and used to share an apartment and everything else. So, oh, good call. Friend hid their hard point under a smoke detector. Good call. See, I like the creativity of kinky people because like we have to be sometimes where it's like, okay, don't want to get caught, so we'll hide this here or do that, and I mean just the creativity in toys and play and everything too, right? We're naturally, I think, very creative folk. So, oh, cream cheese and white bread, Ohio. Ooh. Yeah, we were in Ohio a few years back, and it was Ohio. We were in Cincinnati, right? Yeah.
Yep.
For this really, really cool kink event called Fear Fest that happens over like Halloween or around the Halloween weekend.
Well, and I think that was just the name of their group in general.
No, that was the event. It was Fear Fest. I can't remember the name of the group, but because they were like had a community space, and it's basically it was an edge play Halloween event, so like right up my alley. And I taught some suturing and stuff like that there. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. But yeah, just getting, like we drove down because we're just outside of Toronto, but driving through the States was, well, we weren't used to Ohio. Let me just say that. I mean, we're from a fairly big city in Ontario, and it's pretty open and liberal, and we're pretty open and you know, accepting kind of people, right? The kink community, all that. So it was very, very interesting. I got someone yelled at me because I was taking a picture of a drive-through gun and liquor store, and I guess they didn't appreciate me trying to take a picture of it. And I was just like, I'm from Canada. We don't have this. You know, we don't. Well, I mean, we don't have gun stores specifically. Like if you go to like Cabela's, like what the hunting, camping kind of places, you can buy guns, but that's about it. So I'm just like kind of freaked out by gun stores. So, because you know, Canadian and all that. Not all Canadians, absolutely, but yeah, it was special. I liked it though. I mean, not the surrounding area, but I enjoyed the event a lot.
The event was good,
and the people were amazing.
Yeah, really nice people.
So
definitely we'll go back once.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to go back to that one. So, but yeah, again, if you guys are in some of the smaller areas or like Bible Belt kind of areas, and that your key is going to be going to bigger cities. You know, if you can access that.
We saw lots of like, if you're gay, you're going to hell.
Oh yeah, no, that was just freaky.
Never seen one before.
Yeah, no, we'd never seen anything like that before. It was just like, holy shit.
Or the open a bank account with us and get a free gun.
Yeah, that's freaky.
I saw that too. I was like, whoa.
Like, I don't mean to like, you know, bash people here or anything like that, but it's because certainly, again, not all people from Ohio, not all Americans, all that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it really freaked us out a bit because it's just not things that you see up here.
Yeah. Or
at least not in the parts of Canada that we're from.
And when we do see like religious signs, we're like, oh, we don't see that down where we are.
Yeah. So
like, it's very rare that we see that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, on the way to our tattoo artist's place, there's like one place that has like all this, like it's a cemetery, but it has all this anti-abortion stuff around, which is kind of weird. Like, it's just not something you see here very much. But it is what it is, I guess. So
There's a good question for you.
yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to follow up on I have a big chest, lost a lot of muscle during COVID. I'm sure you can relate to that. Yeah. But yeah, well, I think, yeah, again, there's nothing specific that says, oh, a sub has to be small or scrawny or anything like that. Like, you can present in whatever way works for you. And if that's, big and muscly, then there's definitely dominant women who love that. I know quite a few. And besides, then you get to like climb your sub. It's fun. I don't think I've ever actually climbed you, but
no.
So, sorry guys, I'm just a little behind in the chat there. I tried to switch, which was the one you're saying here. This one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember which one it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this one.
Okay. So first of all, he's saying hero. Since the issues with Fat Life, is there any other platform that is better to support for connecting the community? I don't know. I haven't found anything yet. I've been trying out a couple of smaller platforms. Nookie Notes on Fat Life, who runs the Dating Kinky group and website, has been trying to get her site off the ground for a long time. I have an account there. I haven't spent a lot of time on it. I don't know how good it is, and it's more, obviously it's a dating site, right? Dating Kinky. It's either Kinky Dating or Dating Kinky. I think she's Dating Kinky because my branding was Kinky Dating and we were the opposite. But anyways, so that is something that may be worth checking out. I think she's still doing a lot of beta testing and things like that. But other sites that
I don't think they're really out there yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep looking for you guys because yeah, there's a lot of problems with Fat Life. They just deleted my favorite group. So I've been kind of upset about that. And I mean, in comparison to all of the other crap that's going on, well, the reason they deleted us was a lot of us pointing out a lot of the problems on Fat Life. So, but yeah, I don't have anything better right now. Cleveland is crazy kinky. This is good to know. Well, I never really had motivation to visit Cleveland necessarily, but now I do. I want to go to all the places. Dayton, we haven't been to Dayton, so I can't say for sure. But Cincinnati, apparently, we were less than impressed with the city of Cincinnati, super impressed with the kink community in Cincinnati, for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, Pete informing us that there are naked Pete photos online if you ever need to see that. Let's see. Santa Monica, nice. Oh, but apparently it's a backwater, so fair enough. All right. I don't know. I only hear about some of these places. I've only had limited travel to the US. But I know I love California. We try to get there as often as possible, which is not very often at all. But do you have any recommendations for folks who are incorporating BDSM kink practice in their artistic performance practice? I'm looking to connect with more artists who incorporate BDSM and kink. Well, funny you should end up here. He is a visual artist and incorporates a lot of kink. Once again, I will show off my Bernie mug. So he does a lot of well, you're doing mostly like online on your iPad now.
Right now,
or not
yeah.
Online, but like digital art.
Digital.
That's what I'm trying to say. And doing that kind of stuff. I used to be a performance artist. I have not been performing for years, but I did like circus arts. And by circus arts, I mean I hung myself from hooks through my skin and ate fire and shit like that. Not any of the really good circus arts, the fancy stuff that you can do in mixed company or whatever. We did just the more extreme stuff and we did a lot of fetish nights and stuff because of my connections with the kink community. And I'd say just, I mean, I would definitely, once, things kind of go back to a semi-normal state, a lot of big conventions like kink conventions and stuff are looking for different performance art stuff. And so they're a really great place to kind of, dip your toes in and play around with that. And I mean, it's very easy in some ways to incorporate BDSM into it, without knowing exactly what kind of performance art you do. It's hard to say, but like, definitely, it can be very, I mean, it's not necessarily lucrative, right? Because nobody wants to pay for performances for some reason.
Art is free.
I know.
You shouldn't be paid to do art.
But I've definitely gotten some decent paychecks from those kind of things in the past. So, and yes, kinksters are creative, very much like stoners are. So we just don't we turn everything into toys instead of bongs, right? So let's. Yeah, okay. I just saw people being like, oh, good question. I wanted to make sure I actually answered it then. I'm like goth moms chucking Bibles at you. I think that could be some good play, right? Bible play. I'll just hit people with it, right? I probably shouldn't say that I'll offend people, but yeah. Bit of hate for Ohio, that's okay. Let's see. Oh, the issues with FedLife have mostly been that they allow people that are in clear violation of their terms of use to continue using the platform. There are a lot of things that go on there that I can't really say here because the YouTube algorithm will pick it up and I will get in trouble. But things that involve people who are not adults, things that involve people who are, or creatures that are not humans, and things like that have been found on the platform, and because they started the private groups and things like that. So it's been a bit of a mess lately, as far as some real grossness there that is criminal and not kink. But yeah, I just have to, like I said, be careful because YouTube algorithms pick up on certain words and then I get in trouble. So, yeah. Oh, someone else enjoying Cincinnati for kink. So, yes, somebody else hating trying to pay artists with exposure. I can't remember. It was somebody had created a T-shirt or something like that that says exposure is something you die of, not something you're paid with.
Yeah.
And I really liked that particular saying. But yeah, there are a lot that are just like, well, it'll be great exposure. And then part of the problem is that you have some people that are willing to work for free, which I mean, like, cool, but like value yourself more. And so then people are like, because I know we had some issues with, for instance, fire performers. There were some that were totally willing to work for free, but they had no insurance and their safety practices weren't the best. And then a lot of the fire performers got painted with the same brush because, places had hired these free performers. And so it was like, okay, yeah, except I have like $1 million in liability insurance here and all this other stuff. So you have to pay me because this is expensive, So it can be very frustrating. And yeah, exposure, no, pay your artists.
Well, my rent is 800 exposures a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But and I mean, I think anyone that is an artist in general can definitely appreciate that, whether you're a musician or a performance artist or digital artist or whatever, because I know you get, well, why didn't it cost so much? A lot. Or, can you do this for free?
Yeah, it's like, well, something like that. It took me 35 hours to draw. So, let me just, that's a full work week.
Yeah. No TikTok.
I started one, but I've never uploaded anything to it. I'm trying to figure out how I can market myself on it. Yeah, so
I'm old. That's my excuse.
You said it, not me.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I honestly, I don't have the spoons to do more social media. I try to focus here. So, Oh, yes, Pluto, yes. Issues with racism on FetLife, as if all the other stuff isn't bad. Yeah, those are just like, the normal freaking issues of racism and all that bullshit. Like, man, we're gonna come out the other side of all of this stuff at some point, and it's gonna be awesome, but it sucks until we get there for a lot of people. So, no, I don't think there's anything we missed. Oh, bonding. Do you agree with the show? So, I hated the first season completely. I think, and utterly. It was, to me, not a very accurate portrayal of anything except for consent violation. It was a really good portrayal of consent violation. So there was a bit of sarcasm there, but yeah, I'm actually going to do a video. We're watching the second season of it now, so please don't post any spoilers for me. I think we got about halfway through.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene that triggered my PTSD. So I have not watched it since, but I am going to, when I'm feeling capable, sit down and watch and get through the nasty part and finish the season, and then we'll do like a full review. The second season, though, started off at the very least a lot better.
Yeah.
I liked the fact, and I don't think I'm going to be giving any spoilers here, but I like the fact that I think it was like the first or second scene of the first show was the dominatrix, the head dominatrix, giving a lecture about consent and things like that. So I was just like, I like this character.
Honestly, from the second season, I still hate the main character.
Oh yeah, completely. We hate her so much.
I'm just like this. This show would be great if, I don't know, if she if I didn't dislike her as much. Mm-hmm. But then again, I mean, whoever wrote the part and her doing her acting, causing me to just dislike her so much, that's a good job. I like her sidekick. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's becoming more problematic though.
But from what I've seen, I was like, he's funny. I really like him. And but her, I was just like, oh my God. And especially when she's like, oh, why are you sending me back to the basics? Like, don't you think I'm a little bit higher than this? And it's like, oh, well, clearly you're not, because you fucked up all this.
Don't understand consent. But yeah, we'll definitely do a proper review of it. I just, sometimes, PTSD, let me tell you, is not very convenient. So it's frustrating at times. Pete flashed you.
Thank you.
There's your exposure. Yeah. So, one of our Kink pillows. Yeah. Here, I got another one right here. Thank you for bringing it up. So yeah, this is our more masculine one. These are practice pillows. So you can practice, wailing on a very forgiving bottom. And yeah, we've got the masculine and we've got a more femme one in the background there as well. So we like to play around. I'll post, let me see. I'm trying to remember. I'll post a link for the shop, or you can find it on my website. There's a shop tab there. But full-time dance artist, cool. But yeah, exposure, just not you, but to the people that want to pay an exposure. It's so yeah. So let's see. Yeah, old starts around 80. Okay, I can live with that. I feel old though, I gotta admit. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, for me, honestly, the TikTok thing is mostly a matter of I can't. I have a hard enough time keeping up on the social media. I do have, but I can't, in good conscience, add more. But I know that there's some lifestyle people there, and I've considered trying to check it out, but I don't think I'll ever start my own necessarily. Yeah, I didn't get the happy birthday singing, making it easier to pee thing. I'm like, I don't know, but I've never been shy in that regard. So, yeah. Um, yeah, Mr. Samira, thank you for this bonding season 2. Yeah, so far I like her a lot. And just yeah, because like I liked, first of all, that she actually understood proper ethics. And again, I've only seen about halfway through the season, but I like that she understood proper ethics as far as BDSM and consent and things like that. I also liked that she understood the business side of being a professional dominatrix. That was pretty decent. I actually really liked, and I hope I'm not going to give anything away for people. It happened fairly early in the show, but there was the financial domination scene, and the characters themselves were being a little bleh, but the actual scene I really, really liked, because I think financial domination, FinDom, gets such a bad reputation because there are so many like scammers out there and people harassing people that aren't into that particular kink. But that depiction of financial domination was freaking awesome. And exactly, or not maybe exactly, but very close to some of the financial domination stuff that I've done. I actually preferred to do more blackmail, obviously consensual blackmail, but I enjoyed that kind of thing a little more. But it was just a really good depiction, and you don't see that. I think FinDom just gets bashed a lot. And like I said, there are a lot of scammers, and scammers certainly deserve to be bashed, but it is a legit kink, and I really liked that. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you guys really saying, yeah, the headmistress character is awesome, and you know, much better there. Thank you, Preston. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome today. Oh, people being like, oh no, there's good stuff on TikTok. Yeah, I've definitely heard that. I will check it out for sure, and maybe we can do some kind of reacting to TikTok stuff, because I know the reaction videos are like a big thing. So I'll probably put a post out about, like, you guys can send me some good TikToks or something, but I'll do that on like probably Instagram or something, or on the community tab here. So oh, okay, we'll see you later, those of you guys who have to leave. Oh, Preston, you also use a wheelchair. Right on. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely want to get start doing more disability content for everybody, because you know, we need it. And you know, like, fuck, we can still do all the same stuff, have fun. We just like I said, we do it from a seated position rather than anything else. But yeah, I think it's really important to get a lot of just have that so that people can see and we can be visible.
Well, it's the problem that, you know, if you're in a wheelchair, it's done. No,
yeah,
absolutely not. No.
Yeah. And I
Which
really,
is not true.
Yeah. And we really got to get these. So I don't know why exactly. I think there's a whole lot of things, but when we go together, especially if we go to like a kink event, people, you know, assume that he's the dominant. And I know that there is sort of like a male dom femme sub sort of thing in a lot of communities, right? Where that's sort of the predominant coupling. And so I don't know if it's because I'm a girl. I don't know if it's because I'm, you know, I'm small compared to him, right? Like, he's a foot taller than me and stuff. Or I don't know if it's because I use a wheelchair, but everyone always assumes he's the dom, and I'm just like, nope, down here, thank you. So yeah, again, I like to be visible. I want to get it out there that, like, you know, hey, we're here, we're visible, and we can play on any side of the slash that we want. So okay, you sent me an email yesterday. Cool. I haven't gone to my emails yet, but I'm bad with that. I'm totally awful. I will admit. Do you like horror movies?
It was interact with kinky themes, or that's
yeah.
Oh
You probably know better than me because you actually remember the movies we.
Well, I mean, like when you're doing
Remember.
classes, so we have Amazon Prime. So sometimes when she's doing classes or she's not awake or anything, I find like the shittiest movies and I watch them because I feel bad subjecting her to them, to these like horrible movies. So, you know, I'll throw a crappy movie on or whatever. And you know, like you watch it and you're just like, this is going to be bad. Like it sucks. But you know, I'll be doing some art or whatever. So I'll just have it as background noise. And I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
I'm trying to think of anything that's good, like good depictions of kink in horror movies.
Yeah, and like right now, like I can't think of anything because I haven't watched anything like that recent that had that.
Let us sit on that because we love horror big time. But yeah, let us sit on that and I'll let you guys know. I'll make a post about it or something. So Samuel wants to know how you deal with my PTSD. Personally, doesn't get triggered when I do scenes. Mine is very, very specific to my accident. So I was a pedestrian and I was hit by a car. So thankfully, those kind of things don't tend to come up in scenes a lot, but I do get a lot of the like sort of intrusive thoughts that just, you know, the ones that are like, you're doing something totally normal. And then you're like, but what if everyone dies or whatever, right? So thankfully, I've had the opportunity to work with a couple of different therapists that have taught me different coping skills, and mostly it's just, you know, some self-talk, just mindful breathing, trying to like bring yourself back to where you need to be, and you know, stopping the scene, and you know, your partner is there to help support you, right? So I don't know if you're dom or sub, but you know, like my partner is my sub, but he still has, you know, been really awesome in supporting me through all of this. And if I need to stop and just be like, okay, the world is doing that nasty thing to me, can we just chill? And he's good with that. Like I can just take him out of the bondage or whatever, and then we'll just sit and he'll distract me or whatever I need. So that's kind of my best way of dealing with that. But like I said, I don't tend to, my triggers don't show up in scenes for the most part, thankfully, because I think that would be really hard to deal with. I do have some free online PTSD resources that I will I'll post on like on the community tab maybe, if you guys are interested, if anybody else deals with that kind of thing, because I know that therapy is not something that everyone has access to, thankfully. Because it was a car accident type thing, I had access to that through the insurance company, because otherwise there's no way I would have been able to afford therapy at like, you know, usually $100 an hour or whatever it is. It's freaking expensive. So, but yeah, I'll definitely post some of those resources for you guys, because PTSD fucking sucks. And I like, I don't know, I feel, you know, it's funny, it's one of those things you feel bad because we do associate that with veterans, and I'm like, man, what happened to me is nothing compared to what happened to other people. But these things scar us, and it doesn't necessarily take something so huge. So James is asking, isn't TikTok mostly not adults though? Don't have one because I can't, just can't with social media either. But yeah, I think it's, you know, mostly young people. Most social media is driven by young people, at least in the beginning. But you know, then all of us dinosaurs join and ruin it for everyone. No, I'm obviously just joking there. But yeah, I think that I know that there are other YouTubers that I watch that you know, are on TikTok as well, like some of the beauty YouTubers that I like, or medical YouTubers. I watch a lot of medical YouTube as well, all the doctors and stuff. So oh, math people, yeah, math is challenging. I just see a math conversation there. So oh yeah. Oh no, UPS having to work 12-hour shifts. That blows. I guess you guys are super busy now, because I know my like online shopping has gone through the roof. And I'm sure a lot of other people are doing the same thing. So yeah, I remember the days of working 12-hour shifts. It sucks. So, oh, what's the safe word? I love what's the safe word. Can I just say they are the absolute, that just so cute. I love those guys so much. Oh, okay, and they did a reacting to TikTok. Awesome. Yeah, they're just such a fabulous channel. I love those guys. It's the the one. Yeah, you've seen them. Yeah. I make him watch. He's not as addicted to YouTube as I am. I started because I knew I wanted to do a YouTube channel, so I started watching YouTube to get like do research and whatever. And now I'm like, I watch YouTube constantly. I'm so bad. I'm like, doing something else. I have YouTube videos going in the background. So like, yeah. Oh, underrated. It just added something there and I lost what I was looking at. Underrated kink film, Walk All Over Me. Not horror, but very good. I have to check that out. Where's my notepad? All right. I have a terrible memory, so I write everything down. There we go. Kink talk. I like that. Okay, we're definitely going to have to check out some TikTok stuff. I'm going to have to figure out if I can actually I think we can get TikTok in Canada, right?
Yeah, we have it. I have it on my iPad.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to have to check it out. So, yeah. Oh, you can, does TikTok have the under 18, over 18, or is it, oh, I guess it would be an improvement. Yeah. So they don't have that yet. Yeah. I like, I'm one of those people where like, I think that educational material should be available to people of all ages, but at the same time, it needs to be age appropriate. And so, being, being able to, oh, look, someone's ugly. Not us. Sorry, I'm just like, noticed that. But yeah, I think that, it's got to be definitely age appropriate. Looking for the band Kiss and actually came across some adult material. Yep, I can see that happening for sure. Yeah. Oh, I do wear contacts, but I wear clear ones. This is actually my eye color. I get asked that a lot, so don't worry, not rude. And then, red eyeshadow helps bring out the green. So I like to play around with that. Yep. Yay, color theory. It's the only thing about art I know because I need to put the war paint on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys had that bad snowstorm. We didn't
really get much.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, the East Coast did. New Brunswick and Nova Scotia got slammed pretty hard with that storm. But we're Ontario, so we missed it. I just got a warning like 5 minutes before we logged on here of another snowfall warning. But we're in a part of Ontario where like there's we're buried in snow from usually December right through to April. So. And it'll snow in April. Probably snow in May as well. It always does. I know you want to get the bike out, but come on. It snows in May here all the time. I was telling him, I stopped going camping on like May 24th weekend. I guess that's not an American thing. That's just Canadian because it's the Queen's birthday or something. But anyways, May 2-4 weekend is a big camping thing in Canada. And I just stopped going because it would snow too often. So scene with a math task would be totally edge play for me. Yeah, that would suck.
No, I can't math.
Yeah. I think that most people have struggled with math, like because it's not taught well in school, but then also abstract math is not something that we necessarily use day to day, because I'm sure all of us sitting here complaining about math can do basic day-to-day math. without too much issue, whether we need a paper or whatever. But like, it's the complicated, like abstract stuff that is, or at least for me, that's a problem. So, person with mobility issues, have been teaching people around me about accessibility. Awesome. It's been great as they learn and teach others, and just watching more people learn about accessibility. Yeah, I think we need to normalize it. And I don't know if you guys get notifications from the community tab and stuff like that, but I just posted a video from Jessica Kelgard Fozard, something like that. I can't remember, but anyways, she's in the community tab, and she just put out, she does amazing videos. I love her. She's a disabled queer woman who posts about being disabled and about being queer and all kinds of other fun stuff. And she has like this adorable 1950s look going to her. And so she just posted a really awesome, like, oops, I did an ableism video, which I really thoroughly loved. And I really encourage everyone, you know, able-bodied, disabled, whatever, check it out for sure. So, yeah. Oh, Mandy is teaching their mistress TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, sometimes it helps to have someone younger to be able to help you with these things. I think I taught you more about social media than vice versa.
Yeah, most likely.
But that's okay.
I have better ideas though.
You have excellent ideas.
I know.
Well, he's creative. He's very good with that sort of stuff. Oh, weird. From where I'm at, the snow is coming up from Mexico and Texas, oddly enough. Completely screwing everything up in the south. Yeah, that would be. I would not. Well, I made the mistake when I went to Mexico. I traveled extensively throughout the country, and I forgot when I was packing that altitude equals colder. And I spent a fair bit of time up in the mountains in northern Mexico. I spent a bunch of time in a town called Crial, which is in Chihuahua, and you know, the train that goes from Los Mochis and that. And anyways, yeah, I forgot to pack really warm clothes because I was like, I'm going to Mexico. It's supposed to be warm there, forgetting about altitude. So I froze my ass off, and Mexican people laughed at me because they're like, but you're from Canada. You should know this. And I was like, yeah, but the only thing we hear about Mexico and Canada is, you know, the beautiful beaches. So they laughed at me a lot. It was okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's always going to be a hard time. I'm just seeing someone here saying, oh, I'm a sassy brat. It's hard to find any mistress that likes me for me. I think that, I mean, honestly, it's hard to find a partner no matter what. And then when we're kinky, we narrowed that down to like kinky people. And then we're like, okay, but I want this specific kink orientation and all of that. Like, I know like you were looking for somebody for quite some time. I was looking for somebody for quite some time. You know, and it's hard to find that compatibility. It kind of sucks, but you're certainly not alone.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah. Well, and even now, like you find, well, obviously right now is the exception because, but so we are poly and he dates other people. And like I said, is a switch. So he's looking for a sub when he dates other people generally. You know, it's not limited to that, but yeah, you have a hard time finding subs or anybody that you really,
I don't know, like I just
you've had some that you click with, but I mean, it's,
I just suck with online in general. Like that's me, like part of it. And it's like with COVID too, it's hard. It's better when you're going out to actual events or be like, hey, let's go for coffee and actually, you know, face to face.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's one of the big things with dating too, is figuring out where you are strongest. So if you aren't good with online dating stuff, I'm terrible with that.
No.
I don't like it. So I meet my partners face to face at events.
Fair. And like usually, like if I do talk to people online, I try and set up like a coffee date like fairly quick because it's like,
well, you don't want to waste your time if they're not going to show, or if you don't have chemistry, or
exactly. Like I'm sure like other people have experienced where it's like you'll spend like months talking to somebody online, and then you go and meet them, and it's just like it wasn't what I was expecting or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but
yeah,
I am Polly, but with this COVID, yes, I can hear you there. Like I was
dating.
I was trying to find people before COVID, and then and then COVID hit, and it's like, God. And I mean, like, too, it's like, you can see other people, but then it's like the other person you might be dating, they might be safe, but what about the other people, right? It's just so much more in the mix that you kind of have to be a little more cautious about. Right?
Yeah. We've honestly been under pretty strict lockdown for the whole time, just because I'm more susceptible because of my disabilities. And then, we have family members that are older and things like that. So it's just like, blah. So it's, I think too, for the brats out there, I would really, really stress negotiating, obviously, that about like how your brattiness is expressed, because he's quite bratty as well. And making sure that that's part of your negotiations, because I think sometimes, obviously, brats get kind of a bad name because there are some people who just don't know when to reel it in, but also having sort of a bratty safe word kind of thing for the dominant in this case. So like, if he's being bratty, he knows if I say, like, that's enough, then that's his sort of cue. It's not like an official thing that we talked about really, but it's just, he knows like, okay, I gotta take it down a couple of notches here, because that's where I'm starting to get actually genuinely annoyed. But having that is really, really important, just to have like a way to be like, okay, I need to reel it in a little bit, because brattiness can be a lot of fun, and especially like if you're playing around for punishments and things like that. Like I like it. I like a sassy bottom. We always used to call them Sams, smart ass masochists. The ones who will like wiggle their butt at you and be like, oh, are you hitting me? I thought it was a mosquito, or whatever, and it's just like that back and forth to play harder. I love that kind of thing sometimes. But, we also need to be able to be like, hey, cut it out, because I'm at my limit. I don't want to deal with this right now, or whatever, and especially like I'm a weird one, because I really prefer obedience, but I also enjoy some brattiness. So I'm just like, do what I fucking tell you. But it doesn't always work. So I think too, like going to munches, I get it's intimidating, but sometimes it's hard to find people to go with. But I always suggested either like because I've attended munches all over the place, and when I travel, I'll go to a local munch and I just show up solo, and I'm comfortable doing that. But I get that some people aren't. So I'd always say like, just email the organizers ahead of time, and they can usually help you out with like giving you some introductions, that kind of thing. And not all munches are created equal. So in Toronto, I think they're doing online now, but there was a munch called Deviant Munch, and it's run by a whole bunch of people that I know and think are just lovely folks. And I always liked that particular munch, because what they would do is, if there were new people coming in, they would introduce themselves. They had like 3 or 4 different hosts, and they would introduce themselves to the new person and be like, what are you into? And so then they would take them to various tables, because it was a huge munch, and introduce them to people that had similar interests. So for instance, Any of the like female dominants would usually end up over at my table. A lot of the male subs would end up at my table. People into medical play would end up at my table because they were like, oh, you know, this is nymphetamine and she's into this and that and blah, 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 right? And so, you know, they would introduce you to people that had stuff in common so that it wasn't as awkward. And I really loved that. If I were to ever run another munch, because I have run munches in the past, I would definitely incorporate something like that into the munch. I was working on a how to start your own munch video series, but it was right before COVID happened, and we went to one venue to look at a room, and then everything was locked down, and you guys know the rest. So when things open up again, I will be starting a munch in my area, and I'm going to record as much of that process as I can. Obviously, I can't record the actual munch because no one would show up if there was going to be filmed. But you know, and privacy and all that. But yeah, we'll definitely have that. But yeah, I would say email the organizers if you're nervous, because that can sort of, at least then you have contact with someone and they can make some introductions. So yeah. Yes, absolutely. Watch all of my videos. No, watch the ones that interest you. And I think there's a lot of good stuff. And I actually have some videos about munches and events and things like that. So, you know, we try to have as much out there as possible. So, Pete's saying, when I go to munch or fet night, I'm all alone or no partner, I go and just sit and watch for a bit and then strike up a conversation. Best conversations are geeky, nerdy stuff. Thank you for bringing that up, Pete, for sure. There's a huge crossover of kinky people and nerdy, geeky, whatever. I've told this story many, many times in the past, but I was hosting a femdom party, and we literally sat around all night talking about Skyrim, because that at the time Skyrim was the game to play. And you know, oh, did you do this mission? What is your character? All of that kind of stuff. Because yeah, all of us are gamers. So yeah, geeky, nerdy stuff. Like, I can't even tell you how many kinky people I know who LARP like all the time. I know kinky people who are like the owners of LARPs and run them and all that kind of shit. So yeah, definitely a lot of crossover there. Less crossover with the metal people, though. I always thought there would be more metalheads, but not as many. I say that because, like, you know, we go to metal shows all the time, and I know Pete's a metalhead too. So, but yeah, well, it's just like sort of the goth scene. Like, you would think there was a lot of people into the goth scene, into kink, but not necessarily.
Yeah, I honestly, in my experience from previous partners, I found that the crossover was there, but it was more for the stand-in model crowd.
Yeah, like there's a lot of the fashion, but less, and probably, like, I know there's like, I know a lot of goths that have like latex kinks or those kind of things, but not into the BDSM side of things. Yeah, it was just
more of like the aesthetic and going to like the big club style parties.
Like, I always, when I teach classes and stuff, I'm always like, I am not the typical kinky person. Like, I am definitely, as far as my look goes, on the more extreme side of things. You know, most kinky people don't, they look like normal soccer moms or whatever. Although I think soccer moms should look like me. Everyone should look the way they want to. Some Skyrim fans, yes. Any advice for somebody who hasn't had vanilla sex who wants to join the community? Is it going to be more difficult? No, not really. In some respects, perhaps, but you don't have to be into sex at all. Like, if you are, great. If you're not, that's okay too. A lot of people, and especially when you're doing like public play at parties or stuff like that, generally there's like no sex allowed. And even at probably most of the parties that I've been to that I have like that do allow sex, it doesn't happen very often. I remember I was doing a dungeon monitor training thing, and so dungeon monitors are people that are there to sort of make things run more smoothly, and if you need any assistance like first aid kit or whatever, dungeon monitors provide that kind of stuff. So I was sitting there we did like shadow shifts, so you were with somebody that was more experienced, just to kind of get a feel for the job. It's a volunteer position. And I was sitting there chatting with the fellow that was on my shadow shift, and there were two scenes going on in front of us. One was a very intricate rope scene, and the other were two people fucking. And both of us were like, oh, look at that rope. Like, wow, really immersed in this rope and really enjoying it. And then like somebody was like, oh, like, look at these people fucking. And we were like, oh, people are fucking? Oh, no, who cares about that rope though? You know, and so that's sort of the attitude. Sex is usually, like I said, it's not allowed at a lot of parties because it just isn't. Some parties don't allow nudity even. But yeah, it's not the main focus for a lot of people. For a lot of people, kink and sex are inseparable. They go together. Kink is like foreplay or whatever. But for a lot of people, they just do kink without sex. Or, you know, there's nothing saying that if you are interested in having sex, that you need to have vanilla sex first and then go to kinky sex. Like, just have kinky sex if that's what you want. But just understand that there's not always like, there's not going to be a ton of pressure necessarily, but be upfront about it, that if you're not into it, obviously, or, you know, that you've never done it before. People are pretty understanding. And yeah, I've never seen anyone given a hard time. Oh, good night. Have a good dinner. But yeah, I've never seen anyone really given a hard time for like a lack of sex or anything personally. And I mean, I'm not into casual sex at all. And I'm not really into sex all that much in general. So I just don't do it. And it's never really been that much of a problem. I do, you know, have open relationships because sometimes my partner might want to have sex. But that's sort of my workaround there. And I like having poly relationships. It's more comfortable for me. So, oh God, now we're into other role-playing games and stuff. Has anyone played the Werewolf the Apocalypse game? Is that one out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
It's out?
I watched a review and they
Just
said
the review looked like kind of shit. But I don't know if anyone's actually played it.
Reason they said is because it's a budget game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, you know, your like God of War or any of your other big titles that have like, you know, a $60 million budget or whatever. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Pete and I and a bunch of our other friends always used to play like Vampire and Werewolf and all of those games. I told you about that.
You know what's funny? So I watched the review, and the guy doing the review actually said the same thing. He's like, you know, they fell short on this game because it was such a rich world to like expand and everything, and he's like, they had so much source material to work with to make something amazing, and they barely like scraped it, and it was just so bland. Yeah. So and it sucks because like with COVID and everything, it's like whenever there's like a bigger game that comes out that's more interesting, I'll be like, oh, okay, you know, maybe I'll buy that and, you know, sink some hours into it. But yeah. And that was one of the ones I was eyeing, and then I watched the review. I was like, oh, maybe if it's in the $20 bin, I'll get it at some point. Yeah,
I don't even know if I'd do that. But yeah, no, if anybody has played Werewolf the Apocalypse, the video game that's just come out, please let me know what you think, especially if you're a fan of the actual role-playing game, because I want to know. D&D is funny to me because of the current Dungeon Master. It is very vanilla. It's frustrated with all our kink jokes. Nice look on his face when I told him the other meaning of Dungeon Master. Yeah, I always get a kick out of that. Yeah, we've had some. Oh, I miss doing role playing. We usually played a lot of Vampire, like I said, but D&D as well.
I haven't.
But yeah,
never.
No,
I've always wanted to, but never.
Yeah,
I just never had like those group of friends to go really do it with. And I was supposed to like with my ex at one point, but never did. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah, when we used to, Pete and I, one apartment we had, we didn't get the hydro hooked up quick enough. It was, I think we were 3 or 4 days without lights, so we just sat around and played Vampire the Masquerade by candlelight because we were being a giant cliche, basically. So, yeah. Yeah. I never got into Magic the Gathering, honestly. I remember I was like well into my teens when that came out and everyone was playing it. I just, for some reason, I have a deck probably still, but I never got into it personally. Playing Cyberpunk. That's another one I never got into. Was it Cyberpunk? No, it was a different one. Sorry. There's one, I can't remember the name of it now, but I just remember I like story-driven things. I like role-playing because I want to get into the character. I like LARPing and things like that. Because I want to develop a character and play a character. And this one game, I don't think it was Cyberpunk. It was something different. But, it was Rifts. Rifts, that's the one where everything had fucking stats. And I was just like, I hate this because there's too many numbers and I don't care. I am willing to forego some realism so that I can get character development, basically, because that's my driver in that.
Actually, I have a Rifts book somewhere.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. I got it at Goodwill because it had cool artwork.
Yeah, I've only played it once, and it was very stat driven, and it drove me up the wall. So I did not play it after that. I sat out that one. Yeah, I don't know the current D&D system. I'm still way back in. I can't even remember which edition, but some of the older ones. I know that it's changed over the years for sure. So, oh no, Pete will bring his vampire books. Yes, we should totally play. I miss it. I totally miss playing those. So yeah. Oh, announcements about Vampire the Masquerade 2. Ooh, interesting. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played any of these in a long time, but I used to date one of the writers at White Wolf. There's a few mage books dedicated to me. So it was fun. It's my claim to fame, other than, YouTube. I'm not very famous. So, yeah, no, I haven't played the new versions of D&D, but yeah. If anyone comes out with a Kink RPG, for sure, tabletop kind of thing, I'd be down.
That's what we should do.
So, yeah, well, that's a huge project. So,
yeah, so
that's a huge project. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I might wrap things up because it not only is it Valentine's Day, but it's also cheat day. So there's pizza downstairs, and I only get pizza once a month or so. Question: is it bad that a submissive have bondage, all the fun stuff, or should a new dynamic start with nothing? No, bring if you have stuff. Yeah, we didn't just buy all this stuff recently or anything. There's certainly some toys that are individual kind of toys. And if you like any of those, then I would suggest having that already. But yeah, everyone's going to be a bit different for sure about those kind of things. But bondage stuff is usually, if you have stuff that you like, bondage stuff is usually pretty universal. So I'm thinking floggers. I'm not a huge fan if a partner has a flogger and says, here, use this on me, because I don't know how it's weighted. I don't know how it feels in my hand and things like that. I like my floggers because I'm used to them and I know how to use them. Of course, if they have floggers by the same flogger maker, then I know exactly how they're going to be, which is kind of nice. But yeah, bondage stuff, it's pretty straightforward. And especially if you have nice rope. I know that, if for people that do shibari style stuff where you're using the natural fiber ropes, like jute and hemp, people will, bottom submissives will have their own piece of crotch rope. And that's, because you don't want to share crotch rope around because that's just kind of gross. I know a lot of people prefer to have their own dildos or insertable toys or even gags. They'll want to have their own gag and not use one that's being used on other people. You know, I'm a big fan of stick a condom on it and wash it, but you know, everyone is different. So yeah, I would, I mean, if you have toys, there's no need to throw them out or get rid of them or anything, right? Like some people are going to be a bit different, but I think in general, it's fine to bring things to a new relationship like that. I mean, you played with all my toys, like, you know, probably 90% of the stuff is mine from before we were together, but like, it doesn't matter. He still plays with it and enjoys it. So for sure. Oh man, we're geeking out in the comment section. Awesome. What do you do if you don't feel like you're part of a particular kink community? I mean, if a part of the community doesn't click with you, then that's fine. There's no need to join or do that. If you personally don't have any drive to socialize within a kink community, that's totally fine as well. I do think that it makes it a bit harder to meet partners because a lot of us meet partners at like kink events and stuff.
Well, it's like, I don't know, especially I'll use Fat Life as an example, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like there'll be people in my area and I'll look at their profile and I'm kind of like, oh, I have zero in common friends with this person, or I've never seen them come out or anything like that. So,
yeah.
But at least like also like if you're going out and you have common friends, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this person. I guess it's kind of like a vetting in a sense.
Yeah, I think in a bit of a way, but I mean, it's not, like I said, I don't think it's totally necessary.
No, it does help.
And I mean, not everyone is going to click everywhere.
No.
And I think too, if you do want to socialize within the kink community, but your local one just isn't for you, that happens sometimes. You know, if you can go to the next town over or the next big city or whatever, you're going to find a different scene. And even in a big city, so for instance, like where we are now, it's a smaller city. There's only like basically one scene and everyone knows everyone. But when I was in Toronto, there were lots of different aspects of the scene. So there was like, you know, the gay men's scene, there was the gay women's scene, there was, you know, like the Northbound Leather part of the scene where they would have their own parties and stuff like that. And then there was those of us that attended a different dungeon. We went to Subspace Dungeon. And sometimes there's crossover, obviously, but there was all these little smaller communities within there. And there was like the TNG groups where they had their own munches and parties and stuff. So TNG, for those of you who don't know, are the usually under 35 groups. So if you are 18 to 35 or 21 to 35, depends on where you are, what the age groups are. You would join those, and they were really good. Yeah. So that's what I would say. You know, and again, if you don't want to socialize in a kink community, you don't have to. But it does make life a little easier. But you know, it's certainly not a you have to. I enjoy the community because it's just easier for me to have all my friends as kinky, or at least like cool with kink, because I can't avoid it. It's what I do, right? But yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Darkman Jeff. Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's funny too, yeah, where saying my husband didn't know about kinks, but he knew about other things. A somewhat prude, taught him. Yeah, I love the idea that we can maybe perhaps present as prudish or whatever, but really we're all just dirty, kinky people or whatnot. So yeah, that's awesome. I love those kind of things. But yeah. Yeah, pizza day. Gotta love it.
Onward.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to say good night. Thank you so much for everyone who came out and was able to chat with us. I appreciate it. I'm going to go eat carbs because I love carbs. All right, guys. Have a good one.